I'm sorry.
Okay.
Roll call time.
There's Stephen Erzberg, John Bray.
Francesca Ortega.
And Rudy Blanc.
No,
Perfect, guys.
We have, quorum, 6 right now. Partials to go.
There's a order of business, if anything guys want differently, or is, like, from an agenda that you're seeing, is there anything that you want to incorporate beforehand, or change, or add, or you just want to go down the list?
Nope.
Everybody okay with that?
I'm good for now.
Good for now. Good. Any public comments? Welcome.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm in Japanese.
Is anyone else joining you?
Pardon?
Is anyone else joining you?
Well, I hope so. I don't have this meeting by myself.
Anybody else online?
I'm
No.
sorry. I just can't stand up to my sack here.
Okay, I don't think there's any public comments, unless anybody has anything, public. No?
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a public comment. 2 weeks ago, there was a great show on TV, on the Tomás Regalado show, speaking about blasting. And Miguel de Grande was up. I know, later on, but I'll mention it now because it was in public. It was like 2 Sundays ago. And he said that the blasts, each blast costs $75,000
Oh.
To the miners, that's what it costs?
to the miners.
Yeah, I think that Miguel was said that
Miguel.
it's 75 to 90 grand.
75 to 90 grand. And he
Something
said,
like that, 75 makes sense.
and, yeah, and you mentioned it, pretty much 75,000 grand. And he mentioned that, like the miners are there first, it's the 50s, again, always the same,
Yeah.
always the same argument and so forth. And then, I don't know, I thought about, well, for the 75,000, maybe it could be some type of subsidy or something from the city, I have no idea. But it came to mind because that lingered with me on that show. It was a Sunday night. I got the tape already and everything else, I'm gonna share it with you guys. It was in Spanish, but it was very interesting. As to what, how that was, but he put a cost. He put a cost to each blast. So, which I think is what it was. This is what it is. Anyway, that's my public comment for the woman. Nobody else?
No.
Okay, moving to the minutes. I move to adopt, because I think we're very good. I had seen, was it January?
Yeah.
We're not February yet. Yeah, I know.
We
You did
do,
it?
but,
Yeah.
it's fine, we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. We're going on the other ones.
It just didn't make the agenda. I attached the wrong thing twice, so I'm letting you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I motion to accept the minutes, adopt the minutes.
Yes,
as is.
second.
Second. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Yes. Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Motion to adopt the minutes, pass it. All business, folks. HO.
So no update right now, because I literally just got back today at 2:30 AM. So for next meeting, I'll have a better update on the HOA meetings.
Wasn't the town supposed to give us a list of HOAs or something like that?
Yeah, it was provided.
Oh, it's probably.
The original list was provided.
Perfect.
Actually, I have a question about that before we move to the next point.
Yeah.
I know that at one point, Miguel had offered to be the one that, if anything, would accompany you to the meetings and stuff. Is there anyone else who's willing
I could go.
I think, we
If
have.
I can go.
Yeah.
If I can go, I'll go.
We'll just have to work through,
This
at
schedule.
the next meeting, we'll do some sort of motion where then you can discuss. Just say, hey, let's say, well, let's
Okay.
discuss that, because at that point, once we approve it, now we're just coordinating. And if we're coordinating something that we've already approved, then we can go ahead
Of
and
course.
chat, talk about it and
Okay,
figure that out.
so I'll bring like a proposed schedule to the next meeting if we.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
That would be the best thing.
Everyone had a different schedule, but I agree it has to be a group effort. It's not that big of a group anymore, but.
Right.
Group effort.
That's my main thing I'm gonna mention tonight. Before we need people,
Right, so.
more appointments or more recruitments or whatever it is. But it's- Yeah, the HO marketing, that's very important.
Yeah, of course.
I think
Okay.
the best way to get our message across, other than, something I've mentioned in the proposed report.
Okay.
Schedule provided. Steve, maybe 2024 board opinion. What do you think? Steve? I
yeah.
know Steve, you were proponent of.
Yeah, just something that, again, let's
We'll
just
check it,
make
really.
sure we get on the next, there's only so much time left to
Yeah, yeah.
2024.
Yeah, I know. Do we have the last one? Do we have the one? When was
I'll
it?
get the last one, I think it was in 2018.
I think it was 2018.
2020?
Or 2020, yeah.
The report to count?
No, not report to council, like
Yeah.
the advisory.
Yeah,
opinion.
advisory opinion. from-
It's on the webpage.
I think it was 18.
No, it wasn't 18, it was from 2020.
20.
All I'm saying is we gotta update it, based off current laws, the pilot program, what's happened the last few months, and also I think we should be more aggressive. And give the council saying like, these are the things that you can do, and this is what you can do to
Yeah.
really push this, on many different, levels. At this point, I'm taking the approach of all avenues, and there's 3 avenues, there's legal, CFO, administrative, and politics, the legislator, and I think we should advise the council all 3. That's what I think it should say. So I guess at the next meeting, I'll say, hey, these are the three avenues, and these are the potential subparts of those, and then we can discuss them and get that out to them. That's a purpose of the board, right, to advise.
Right.
Did you ever hear back from the CFO or not?
I haven't.
Did you see it? And from Tallahassee? I don't see any movement on the, I checked it.
No, the bill's dead.
Bill's dead.
For this session.
I think they're dead for the session.
It's too late. It's way too late. The session
way
ends-
too late.
The session ends in 3 days, right? The end of the 7th.
You pass it in on me today.
But that's okay. That's why we got
That's-
different approaches.
And you're correct. Okay, any other old business, anything else pending, anything else? Not that I know, going back to my notes. Nothing in Cava, nothing in the county,
I mean, well, I'll reach out to Miguel, or not that,
because maybe they've.
not that he's
contacted-
doing anything, but
Yeah.
they may have people might still contact him. And
Yeah.
we'll make sure he does his
Oh, Garcia.
forward those responses to others, and we should reach
And the
out to
lobbyists.
Garcia, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And the
county
lobbyists,
lobbyists.
the county lobbyists. That we need to, okay, moving on to new business, March council report, that's next week. Well.
Yeah, so that's why,
It's-
the purpose that I asked
Yeah,
for the meetings is we need to get it approved by the board. This is pretty much, I think, in final
I
form,
was just seeing it.
other than a few things, and actually I have a question for you, I forgot to ask you, maybe you just email it to me tomorrow. Is the total amount of reimbursement requests that have been made so far, so I can know where our budget might be at?
I'd have to
I
check
haven't
if
said
it,
mine.
yeah, so definitely no, but anyways, it takes a while to post.
Right,
So I don't know if it's already.
all right.
I think the budget was
I know they
like
were
$5,000, $121.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get an estimate. We have plenty of money left over.
Right.
How much do you?
5,121, I think is what I was.
Because I know what Miguel.
My plane ticket was 500.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember the other stuff, but that's the biggest ticket.
Yeah.
Well,
I can give an approximate, like that, I
Yeah.
can give an approximate.
Big budget, what do you have, like 5,000?
Yeah, I mean, we probably
5,000,
spent around
that's what I have.
2,000, so yeah, we have probably another 3,000 or so.
I'll get Io the spreadsheet tonight, so if you
Mm,
can
I
just
can share
forward
with
it
you.
to Steven, that way he could work on his ballpark figure.
You have your expenses.
Uh, So the report is just, Miguel sent me I think it's the template, I don't know if it's or it's used.
Is that the, yeah,
So basically, it just updates the council what's happening. I went into detail about the workshop, including, this is where you can watch the workshop and our results and progress. Discussing, we don't have any events, but upcoming right now, but that we want to schedule HOA appointments, discuss a little bit more about the rebranding. I think we still should
yeah, the marketing.
push on the video at some point.
Marketing video.
Discuss an update on what happened in Tallahassee, a future or additional plans, additional lobbying efforts, expanding the reach to 2024 opinion, and I think we do need to look at town the lasting page website, make sure we update everything on there.
There.
And then progress is discussed here.
I have a question about the page updates. Was there one person that sent the changes to?
I don't think we asked, I think we discussed it, I don't think we necessarily finalized.
Okay,
made a strong request to do this, do that, do that.
okay.
For what,
For updating our page on the website, on the town website, especially the links. Things like that are just out there. Most importantly, that I want to make sure everyone's okay with is the request from the council, basically our ask. First is search for new members.
Yep.
We definitely need it with Miguel, going, and other members that are active. And then I will be leaving at some point, probably in August. So I don't want to see continue to dwindle. Yeah, I could, and that's my concern, and that's why we want to have people up here now over the next few months. Have someone here in June at least, have another 2 people in June would be great, so then they can be part of this for a few months. Before I leave. And then hopefully not coming back, at least for a while. And then see what happens. But we need more people. We can't be around even now. I mean, even if I was staying, we need more people. So and that's also up to us too, whoever we think might be interested in joining, but typically the council members haven't had people in mind that they know might be interested. But that's the most important ask we can make. I kept.
What do you think about bringing like old members? of the board?
At this point, anyone who wants to make the commitment, as long as they're really up to it, they gotta really be up to it. And second, I do think that, and this is something Miguel's was big on, which is number 2. I do think that the person needs to speak with the chair and come to a meeting and see what we do, because it's not a
Yeah.
typical committee.
Before they're onboarded, because if not,
If not, it just makes getting core. I'd rather have 4 really strong people than 8 people and 4 of them don't care.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I want our growth to happen, but I want it to happen intentionally in a way that people are willing and able to make the commitment.
Right.
Because
Just as a reminder, because I know you're a little, like, both of you are fairly new compared to, I think the last time we had this conversation. Just as a reminder that although this is a suggestion from the committee rules don't require, right, like the council members to have the potential volunteer talk to the chair, unfortunately. I know that's what you guys are looking
Right.
for, but I just,
Yeah.
I
But
just want you guys to know, because I think there was a change once
But they
upon a
did,
time.
right, but they still require an attendance, but then it's usually, the council usually just,
Mhm.
votes to
Waive it,
waive the rule.
right.
Right, so there's no, I don't know, there's no
Yeah,
reason to
that's the
have a
only
rule if you
rule.
just waive it, even
Right.
that, even if they just had that, that'd be great.
Yeah. That's the only current rule
Got it.
that they have to attend a meeting, but as you mentioned, we've seen council members just waiting.
And for past members that want to come back on, I can understand that, but.
Right.
For somebody who's new, I think it's important to come to at least 1 meeting. Another thing we discussed a lot,
Just that very notion right there tells you exactly the full battle that you have. I mean, I like speaking in plain English, man, that's BS. So how are you gonna have, it's like me, for example. I'm gonna join a Russian language meeting. No one's gonna vet that I speak Russian, so now I'm part of that group. It's just, that's one of those common sense things that obviously, and granted, I know we're in government, but there is something called pushback. You give pushback. But, just the status quo is not okay. Just because a council member says it and he's elected and he's got, and the voices of the people in the committee have to be heard, that's not right. Right? It's not right, because to your point, if you're missing meetings, if you don't have the technical expertise to understand what this committee is about.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Agree with that too.
So my point is, that's not okay,
No, I agree, I think the rules say you have to attend a meeting.
because you should be vetted, right? It's like everything. I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think out loud. Where is there not a vetting process?
The rules say you have to attend a meeting, and now at the end of the day, it's up to the council whether they add someone to the meeting or not.
Right.
The idea is that after they attend the meeting, we could meet the person, speak with them, and if we really thought the person was a bad fit, we can, hey, council.
But that's
member,
after the fact.
hey, it's
Yeah.
just-
Right, and that's just, I'll keep my.
That's
comments-
after they've been sworn in. I get what you're saying, and
I get
by
what you're saying.
vetting, we're not talking resumes, like,
No, right, I
it's
think
just to go over like, hey, we meet once a month, are you willing to participate
Right.
in X, Y,
Where do you
Z?
fit
This
in?
is what we
Where do you
do.
fit in relative to the strategic vision that we have, where you can help?
Right.
Right? I mean, those are all things, if we're gonna be, again, I'm just saying, moving forward, if we're gonna try to really make an impact, you know, let's call it for what it is, you have to be able to bring fresh ideas to the table. So what's your background, what's your technical background, what do you bring to the table?
I agree.
Just because it's been done like that in the past, doesn't mean we have to do it like that.
And it's something that Miguel has been very consistent on every time he comes up to the council saying, stop waiting the rooms, especially, at least for us. We're not, you know, we're not doing things that most communities do.
I just think they gotta push them.
Well, I can.
Yes, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, it's because, you know,
I will push hard.
Yeah, and it's a technical
Right.
group too, it's not just any.
Right.
group.
Right.
And even if it's any, group, you still the commitment, you know,
Correct.
some type of expertise, I mean, you know, it's a blasting advisory board. At least have the common sense or some type of knowledge
If
of
we're,
what you're dealing with,
if we're expected to provide advice,
provide advice.
but I think show
We need to
initiative to
recruit
be able
people.
to be able to say, you know what, well, to your point, I don't have the technical expertise, but
But-
I'm willing to go ahead and
Okay.
provide me PowerPoints,
Okay.
provide me videos I can go ahead and watch to get up to speed.
now I wanna learn, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's true.
because that's the other part of this, right? It's showing initiative, right? Physically showing up to a meeting is not, in my, it's not initiative,
Correct.
right?
That's not the. Agree. But that's also on us to see if there's people that we think that we know that can.
What she said, right? It's having 4 or 5 that are,
Yeah,
you know,
listen,
versus,
I'd rather have 4 really
Right,
strong,
right.
but I think there's gotta be two people that
No.
want to come in here
And, yeah.
and dedicate a little bit of time for this issue. And that's why it's one of the things for the, you know, the advisory opinion, trying to move, I think we gotta become more aggressive, right, than we have in the past. And, look at all 3 angles strong.
Are there any
Not
rules
just focus.
on recruitment
and you're-
limitations? And it was more like a tougher question.
There's just committee rules. Your rules are just the committee rules.
are we in open discussion right now?
We're kind of moving.
Well,
it.
let's go-
If you want to.
Let's-
Let's
We'll
yeah, let's just
report.
finish the report. The last thing is, the Citizens of Multi-Municipality Network, we discussed that we wanted to give our, what do you call it, our copy, whatever. Our
Branding,
materials,
materials.
I've been calling it
materials.
media kit.
Okay,
So
that makes
it's a
sense,
media.
media kit to other towns, and then really push them next session. We're still in this situation, they got a lobby too, Hialeah
Yeah.
Gardens and Miramar, like, come on, guys. You're
Yeah.
just gonna sit there and do nothing, it can't just be us. But consistent message, so, the town council can help us with that, legal cities and things like that, and there's also some cities on the west coast now that have this issue. So if, you know, we can get 10 lobbying teams or 7 lobbying teams, not just 1, 2 now, including the county, to actually do work up there, that's will help. So, I would move to, allow me to finalize this report and submit it to the town by tomorrow, so we can move it, on to the next regular meeting.
That sounds fine.
I second that motion.
Yeah,
I just have, when is the date? Okay.
well, let's get into the
Next
council meeting.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's it.
March 12th?
Yeah. March 12th.
Okay, second, so we have,
Second, third,
you're both in favor?
Yeah, fine.
everybody, agree?
Aye.
Everybody.
Sorry,
Favor?
I'm writing it down so I don't
Aye.
forget. It's 6:30.
If it's any help, just so you guys know, on that note, the town website, the new calendar, I don't know if you guys have checked out the new website, it's a lot more modern.
Mhm.
The calendar allows you to add events,
Done.
like it has a hyperlink where you can add the event, meeting, event, anything to your personal calendar, in case that helps any of you.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. I wouldn't have thought about that, but next time, because I just did it.
Okay, we got, 6 minutes. So,
No, I just wanted, you brought up something very interesting around having a multi-pronged approach. So obviously tackling this blasting issue, right? You said one was government, one was obviously, excuse me, policy.
Legal,
I
legal
mean,
CFO and.
CFO and legislators.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but this is just what I'm getting at, is that I think that we've kind of tackled this all hands on deck in one way. As opposed to saying, you know what, to your point, that there's three areas where we can go ahead and tackle this. Why don't we split up the council, excuse me, the advisory board and attack it from three different areas as opposed to just one?
Like, I don't know if we're big enough. to do
Well,
that.
manpower,
Right.
one,
But
one
I,
is manpower, we have enough
so-
people for that, you know, that's
Yeah.
another.
well, the CFO and legislator are very similar.
Yeah,
It's just pushing the right people or the right buttons, right? Where legislator, that's what we've been doing. That's what the majority of our focus has been. But we've been now the last like 6 months more in the CFO pass as well. And Miguel said in the last meeting that there's some traction there and that, what I forgot her name, Miss Rice from, I think her name was Miss Rice, but the CFO's office. So those are coming down here to my place. They're being like,
what
what's
is
going
it?
on? I don't know. That's something I want to reach out to.
Good to go.
See,
And,
or just reach out to her directly. But those are pretty much, sort of the same path, right? Legal is a completely different path. And when I say legal, it means somebody has to file a lawsuit.
Right.
And, it could be a person that has nothing to do with the town. It maybe could be the town, it could be a business.
Or person affected.
Because that was also
Technically,
what the Miramar mayor, I mean, going back a little, which is he said, you know, again, in his estimation, that was frankly the number one revenue to this blasting issue.
It's probably.
Now, what validity to that? I mean, what expertise he has to that? I don't know.
Right, I mean, that's the thing, we need, I don't do that, to do something legal, it would probably be outside the town, but there's a request we can make for the town to say, listen, guys. Do you want to sit here for another 20 years? You want to try to do something? This is a course of action that you can have, this is one. You should have the town attorney look at this. Does the town have a case because their buildings are being damaged, that the DOA provision is unconstitutional?
You get
Right,
it.
that's it. Everything else, there's nothing the town could do. There's other ideas that I've had that personal people could do, such as PTSD issues with the blasting, and you can try to get a moratorium, try to get a Miami County Circuit Judge to enter something. There are claims that don't go through DOA. It goes to it goes to a state court judge, and the state court judge, who knows? Honestly, it's you don't know what the judges are thinking on the issue. But the DOA issue, I feel like the town maybe could do something, but it's not I think it's our job to say, this is our position, why don't you have the town attorney give an opinion on it and decide, because at the end of the day, we hope Fabricio's bill can move again next year. There's obviously clear traction, or at least a little bit more worried that we're onto something. But, a court case like that could be over a year, where it takes years, up to 3 to 4 years just to get the workshop.
Right.
Which is, that's the law, that's how strong of the lobby we're fighting against. For the first time, we sort of weren't alone. I don't know how much the county actually did in this very short period of time they were on our side. Hopefully we'll get that again next year, but this path is like completely separate and it can be much faster.
Right, and that's what I was gonna ask you,
Yeah.
have we gone down that path, just inquire?
I'm not, I'll look at the last board opinion. I don't know if they ever gone down that path. And it's not something we can do. We can't go out there and do it ourselves. We can only ask
That's
the
right.
town to do it.
To your knowledge, we've never asked,
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't even think about it.
I don't think.
do we know the why, like, why we haven't done
We've been discussing it in detail like 2 or 3 years ago when we had Lorenzo here and we were talking about the law and look, the town's not in the business of filing lawsuits, but at the end of the day, could it provide relief to its residents? Yeah, maybe. If not, anyone else can do it. It doesn't have to be the town, but I've yet to have somebody come knock my door and say, all right, I'll be the one that files a lawsuit in the state of Florida. So, I mean, maybe that's something I guess we do outside the board. I don't know, we talk to people, but
I don't know, turn your point of view.
anyone can do it.
I think you
Anyone can
better,
put their name and say, I think this law is unconstitutional. I have damages. I don't want to go through DOA. Doesn't have to be the town.
Through the chair, just giving you guys a reminder.
Yeah.
We have another meeting starting in a minute.
Okay. So we got here to do what needed to be done. So.
You're gonna Send me, do you have any changes to that? Or-
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
And then, the other thing is that we would need minutes.
For today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
The
problem.
red cities.
That's problem. Yeah, that'll be simple.
Our meeting is in 2 weeks, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the 18th.
Yeah, Monday, the 18th at 7.
I believe there's a state rep. That's in favor of us in Broward. I think he's in the Vermont, the new guy.
Okay.
He was at the only Republican meeting.
Okay.
It's,
Yes,
it's,
I-
it's the biggest thing we've ever seen.
I think we'll,
I'm trying to find his name.
I think we'll get, I think we'll have, I'm confident that we'll have a lot of momentum next session, but you know, we thought the same thing. We did get a big push this year, but I think we gotta review all options, that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Okay. Motion to adjourn. Second, adjourn. Thank you, guys.
Was that streamed or no?
I think we're gonna have to manually upload it or something, hopefully, yes.
If possible, if I can get the quick, if you can. I don't know how, I guess it's okay, I think I can do this.